Hey guys, coming at you today with a super simple recipe for a delicious homemade sugar-free Nutella. So, let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks for joining me. My name's Alycia. I'm a pastry chef with a sweet tooth, and now I own a keto gluten-free bakery. And I'm here to show you all the tips and tricks on how to make the best recipes possible. So if you enjoy my recipes, please hit the subscribe button down there, give the video a thumbs up, leave me comments, and share with all your friends and family. It all helps me, my bakery, and my channel grow and bring you new videos every Saturday. Today, some delicious, creamy, chocolatey, hazelnutty Nutella. Now this is something I never had growing up, but I love chocolate and hazelnut. And I originally talked about this recipe in my Ferrero Rocher knockoff video. So that's the original reason I made a Nutella, was because I wanted to add it to a ganache to make like a Ferrero Rocher. But I went back and watched that video and realized I didn't even actually make it on camera. I just kind of told you about it and pointed you to the description box. So I thought I would make a recipe video today, and I'm making a delicious cake out of this for my birthday. So I need some more Nutella. So if you didn't know, Nutella is made up of these components, but it is mainly sugar and like this much hazelnut and cocoa powder and a bunch of palm oil. So luckily making it keto wasn't too difficult. The hardest part was getting hazelnuts that weren't expired. If you're lucky enough to have like a Whole Foods or like a nicer grocery store, I'm sure you can find the raw shelled hazelnuts. I live kind of out in the boonies, so like the closest Whole Foods to me is like almost an hour away. So I have to order on Amazon, and I realized when I was testing this recipe out, since I hadn't made it since like the Ferrero Rocher video, that my hazelnuts I got for Christmas time were actually expired even before I bought them. So luckily Amazon, they refunded me the money, but it left me in a bind because I needed to shoot a video and I didn't have any hazelnuts. But I did order some more on Amazon, different brand. This is the only one that came that was not expired. So I'll leave these guys linked below. Hopefully you have good luck with getting the hazelnuts. And it sucks because hazelnuts aren't cheap, but at least Amazon gives you a return on them. I also ordered this brand, came today. Luckily I ordered this one also at the same time because this one was also expired. It's really hard to see, and it was on the thing up here. It was like 8/18/2026. Crazy. So that's really the hardest part of this recipe, is getting your hands on some delicious raw hazelnuts. But other than that, the other caveat to this recipe is using a small enough blender to get it smooth without overheating. Because I tried it in this big food processor and I'm like, is this ever gonna get creamy and smooth? My food processor actually shut off because it was like getting to the point where it was too hot. So I took it upstairs and used the original thing that I used to make the hazelnut spread, and it worked. So it's just, you need a smaller vessel because we're only making not even 2 cups of the spread. I forgot that my food processor came with a smaller bowl. So that is gonna help a lot in making this recipe. So if you don't have that, just a small food processor, a small blender will be the easiest way to go. Or they do make special nut butter makers too. If you're into making your own nut butters, that'll work also. I found it was about 2.5 cups of hazelnuts, which is 10 ounces. So I'm gonna weigh it out here. Whoop. How do you really measure them, you know? That's why I always just say to weigh them out, because I could keep going on that. 1 cup into your blender, 4 ounces, 8, and then half. And these are roasted unsalted. Those are probably the best. You can do the raw too. That's what I had before. I will link below if you get ones that have that skin on them still. There is a video I found when I first made this recipe on how to get those skins off. So I will have that linked in the description box below. It is probably cheaper to get them that way. We're gonna start by giving that an initial blend up. We want it kind of pulverized already before we start adding other stuff to it. But you're not gonna be able to really see it. Well, that's good for now, I think. There's only a couple ingredients in this, so just like the regular hazelnut spread, but I went the route of adding melted keto chocolate because that already has sweetener in it and cocoa butter and stuff like that. So I end up having to add less to this. You can definitely go the route of if you make your own keto chocolate or something like that, but if you add cocoa powder to this instead of the melted chocolate, you need to add more fat of some kind to make it spreadable and quite a bit more sweetener. So I did 4 ounces of a dark chocolate. The sweetness level on this is very customizable to your taste. I was gonna measure that out in cups for you. It's like 3/4 of a cup of chocolate chips. Because it's easier to melt keto chocolate with some coconut oil, I'm gonna add the coconut oil right to this instead of adding it to the food processor. You only need 2 teaspoons of coconut oil, which is 0.4 on the scale, or about 9 grams. If you don't want it to taste like coconut, the refined coconut oil doesn't have coconut flavor to it. So it's up to you. You can use the unrefined, works well too. Just will have maybe a little bit hint of a coconut flavor. Popping this in the microwave. You don't have to worry about tempering or anything like that because we're just putting it into our Nutella. And then to your food processor, you're just gonna add some salt, more sweetener, and a little bit of vanilla extract. So just a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Oop, that's an 1/8. In the original recipe, it was only half this amount, and I said 10 drops of liquid stevia. I just ended up measuring it out with measuring spoons, and since we're doubling it, I just did a 1/4 teaspoon of liquid stevia. It's really hard, like this doesn't really drop that well. It's kind of hard to gauge anyways, so I would err on the side of caution if you're not sure how sweet this is gonna make it for you. So you can always add more sweetener later, you can't really take away. And then just a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then the other sweetener I added was a powdered Monkfruit erythritol blend. You can add any sweetener you want. The thing with a lot of commercial keto products is they tend to use a lot of different sweeteners in order to combat the negatives of certain sweeteners. Like stevia can sometimes be bitter in too much quantity. The Monkfruit erythritol can be cooling in too much quantity. Allulose can have some weird effects to liquids because it is hygroscopic. But I think any sweeteners in here will work, and it's all to taste. So I'm adding 1 tablespoon of a powdered Monkfruit erythritol blend to here. We're gonna get that going and drizzle in the melted chocolate. You can use any keto chocolate you want to. I prefer the Bake Believe chocolate chips because I can get them at Walmart and they're a little bit cheaper. Chalk Zero would work too if you don't want sugar alcohols. And then you can sweeten the rest of the way with stevia or allulose if you don't want erythritol. I find their chocolate has a strange fruitiness to it, and I don't know if that's just because of the monk fruit extract. It just tastes funky to me. I don't prefer their chocolate chips. It's all melted. Turn on your food processor. Ooh, take this guy out, that would have been bad. And drizzle in your chocolate. Salt in there, stop and scrape down, and then you're just gonna blend this up until it's a super smooth, creamy Nutella. You may have to stop and scrape down a couple times. Hopefully my food processor won't overheat. Ooh, smelling good. The other ones were smelling rancid at this point. This is the first good batch I'm gonna be able to have. Ooh, it's getting there. As the oils come out, it'll get smoother. The reason they add so much palm oil in there is because they don't have a ton of hazelnuts. This is primarily hazelnuts, which have oils in them already. Smells delicious. It's just about there. I actually like, and this was not cheap, this Breville food processor, and I tend to gravitate towards liking my super cheap Ninja blender that has like a top blender thing on the top of it, and it came with like a little food processor. It was super cheap and it works so good, and I've had it since 2018 probably, and it's still working. Okay, woo, it looks good. Yeah. Now it's super runny, but that's because it's actually warm from being like processed. Nutella-y, hazelnut and chocolate, one of my favorites. Could go maybe a little bit more, still a little bit grainy, but it needed that little scrape down, I think. Okay, so that blended. The thing I like about this, it blended for 5 minutes. I can tell you guys, but that looks good. You're never gonna get it as smooth as a commercial one because they have like insane hoppers that, you know, blend things. It looks good. We'll keep going. At least it's not getting hot. Last time, like this is getting warm and the Nutella's getting warm, but last time when I was using the big bowl, this was getting hot. I think I'm calling it there. It's starting to splatter up. It was getting real thin. Let this chill before we try it. This guy out of the way. Oof. He is huge and heavy. Ooh, don't touch the top metal piece. It's hot. I want to get it out of here while it's kind of liquidy because it will set up thicker than this. Yeah, just to give you an idea, it's 118 degrees in there. So it's definitely warm. I'm gonna measure it out real quick just to see if my calculations are right. I figured we were gonna get about 14 ounces of Nutella. Sounds like the house is gonna blow over. It's really windy out. Well, that was about right. So you get 14 ounces of Nutella. 2 tablespoons is only 1 gram of net carbs. The reason hazelnuts are good for keto is because they're actually quite high in fiber too. So it is a little bit, you know, higher in total carbs for 2 tablespoons. I think it's 9, but there's like 5 grams of fiber in there. And then there's some fiber from the chocolate chips we're using, of course, too. But I'm gonna let this cool a little bit so that you can see the consistency. And I'm gonna get some of my bread ready to go for a little toast with Nutella on it. I'll see you back here, and luckily, just a second for you. Just kidding, coming at you from another day, because the day I did my Nutella video, I did not bake fresh bread. So I wanted to try this on a delicious piece of bread. I got my loaf here. I'm gonna slice it up. Probably gonna take it upstairs to toast it. This is freshly out of the oven. If you're having trouble cutting it this way, it's also good to do it this way so that there's less squish there, but it's still warm inside, so hold please. Okay, my bread is toasted. Nice and toasty. Put some butter on it. Be civilized here and use a plate. So this Nutella was sitting overnight, so it got thicker. Again, don't have knife, so I have to use a spoon. And bread is always better with some extra fat on it, which is why I put the butter, because it's a very low fat, low calorie, high protein bread. Always does well to add some extra fat in there. Some Nutella on toast. A little sweet, chocolatey, hazelnut. A delicious little change up to the typical peanut butter. So good. And this will just last out on your countertop as long as you have it in a clean container. Say if you have it for a long time, maybe put it in the fridge. So good. Now back to me from the past. And don't forget to tune in next week for a delicious cake recipe using almost an entire batch of this Nutella. So make sure you hit the bell icon and all notifications so you get notified when I make my delicious, decadent chocolate hazelnut birthday cake. Take your guess down in the comments below what cake I'm making for my birthday that involves Nutella. I hope you guys enjoyed this super simple recipe for a little change up from the usual spread for your bread. Don't forget to check out my Amazon shop page. The link is down in the description box below, along with the blog link to the full recipe. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. As always, I'll be back with many more keto, low carb, healthy meals, desserts, and snack recipes. Bye guys. Happy keto baking.